For our 15th round of bags, we built the entire roof and we got our Blade and Firestar minifigures. And we finally got to our Blade minifigure, and I was hoping maybe when I did my research I'd figure out why they decided to put him in the Daily Bugle set, what this connection was to Spider-Man. And he's had connections and crossovers with Spider-Man, like everybody. I think everybody in the Marvel Universe has teamed up with everybody, but I couldn't find any one thing that would say, hey, we need Blade in the Daily Bugle set. His first appearance was in The Tomb of Dracula number 10 back in 1973, and in that series he was just like a human who was immune to vampire bites. But later, when he came into the Marvel Universe and started working with heroes like Spider-Man, then we got the Daywalker mythology with him, where he is actually a vampire who can walk around in the daylight. But the figure itself is beautifully designed. You have this, he comes with 2 swords, and you get that little sword-carrying backpack that we see a lot with Ninjago, it's superheroes, Ninja Turtles, so it's been used a lot. The detail on his chest with this metal, just shiny metal armor that he wears underneath the leather jacket looks amazing with the detail, and I love his sunglasses. Those sunglasses on his face look amazing, and I was surprised they went with bald Blade as opposed to the buzz cut Blade, but he looks really cool and ready to kick some vampire butt. Too bad we didn't get a Morbius. And here is Angelica Jones, Firestar, and this character I do know why they included, because she was in the 1981 Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends cartoon, which I used to watch as a kid, which is why I was super excited to get this minifigure in the set. She didn't really enter the comic universe until Uncanny X-Men 193, and she never really took off as much. She was more known for the cartoon, but she did later become part of the New Mutants, and that helped kind of make her a more popular and well-known character within the comic universe. But I'm really excited to get her because she's not one of those characters we're going to get in different sets. She's probably not going to get her own set, so I'm really glad to get her in the Daily Bugle. And they did a great job designing her. Just the patterns on the torso piece look amazing. I love these flames they put on her hands, little flame to make her powers being used. This huge red hair piece, and you got that nice smile with her fire mask, and on the back, you see her other facial expression, a little grimace. But she's just so well designed, beautifully crafted, and I love the fact that it's one of those characters we're probably not going to see another set, most likely. And then there is that flame piece we've been talking about, and she just goes right on top of there to fly around the Daily Bugle. And this piece itself is really, really well made. It does tend to fall apart a lot because of all these one-point connections, but you just put it right back together. But these fire pieces here were in that separate fire bag we got when we unboxed, just a separate bag, wasn't attached to any numbers. These pieces came in that. But this large piece where I attached her to kind of have that big old flame burst coming out, that big piece was in number 15 bags. Number 15 bags had this piece. So once we assemble it with all these fire pieces and these 1x1 round translucent orange holes, studs and hole, and then we got these red rounded 1x2 plates to kind of get more stability. What you do is you put on this, I forget what these are called, these translucent kind of posing sticks. There's just long bar pieces with the plates in the end, so you can attach it to the Daily Bugle and see her flying around with this trail of fire behind her as she whips through the air using her fire powers, because in the comic books it was firepower, the ability to manipulate fire. In the comic books they made it more microwave energy. For the base of the roof, we put these little 1x2 plates with the little triangle pieces there, the slanted roofs. And I mentioned this in the third floor, but these things fall off really easily. So when you're snapping this onto the top of the Daily Bugle, you might actually push these off or snap them off. So just be aware of that when you're putting this on and off and moving your Daily Bugle around, because these things are going to fall off easily and probably lead to getting lost. But it's a very simple base structure for the roof. So let's get into the actual water tower and antenna. I love the look of this water tower. It's just so cool. Now there should be some decals of graffiti by Spider-Man, or of Spider-Man and the Green Goblin, but I love the tower so much I don't think I want to ruin it with the graffiti. But the way it attaches, there's these 2x2 round studs, 2x2 round bricks in the center, these brown bricks, and that's all that attaches to the roof here. These tiles are just kind of decorative, but all it does is attach the studs, and those tiles are made to look like these are actually bolted into the cement on the roof, but in reality, it's just those round bricks. And the way you make this stand is you kind of see you've got these like hitches that are used for like wagons to go to horses, or in my case, because I buy Harry Potter, thestrals. But those are like the legs of our water tower, and there's that round plate with these bracket plates with just kind of go side and up to make it circular. And like I said, so the brick goes into the studs, and you can just kind of see how those stands look like they're cemented in, but they're not really attached at all. And then the water tower itself is really cool. They got they use these inverted radar dishes, just a huge inverted radar dish, and then like this kind of like decorative pattern one that I think like Master Wu uses in like a tan color for his hat. And those inverted radar pieces just go on these huge Technic pieces. I've seen these before, like with the Razor Crest, but there's two of these put together. So they do slide a little bit, so you want to make sure that they're kind of lined up when you put them down. Make sure those lines are lined up. But that is the water tower. Not a lot of pieces, but just effectively used, and it looks amazing. And once again, we just got kind of this round plate and the Technic pin that goes into the top. So, but looks really nice. Now let's head over to that antenna. The antenna piece, again, a very simple build for this, but it looks great, and a lot of good like just ideas in the building. Now it's attached at the bottom between these slope pieces here, and so the antenna piece just gets stuck in there, and now it's nice and secure. But the thing is that it's gonna actually pop out a lot. I find that like when you're manipulating Firestar in their different positions, this thing kind of just comes detached, but thanks to those slope pieces, it doesn't like fall down. So you're going to just kind of have to secure it, put it in there so it's not loose when you're done, but it's probably going to pop out as you're like manipulating Firestar. So this is actually a really good design to have those slope pieces there for a little more security. But luckily for us, we also want to take it out. It's a very simple build. You just get these little girder pieces. I don't know what they're actually called, but they're used a lot for towers, for launch pads. So we see them a lot in different colors. And those just two of those stuck together high, and then we've got three different designs for our radar dishes. We've got this larger one that's kind of on a ball joint hinge, so you can move it in different positions, and it's got a nice little lightsaber piece in the center for the lightsaber hilt piece, and then we've got two smaller inverted radar dishes with just like a mechanical claw piece to attach, and then a slightly bigger inverted radar dish with a boat stud, and that one is attached with a 1x1 tile clip. And so you just got these, three different designs for four different antenna dishes or satellite dishes on this huge tower that's got to broadcast the Daily Bugle news all over the city, if not the world. And then you've got the very top antenna, which has this, the larger cone piece, and then these smaller round brick pieces, and then this, it's like those larger bar pieces with the stop gap, so that just goes there and goes into our Technic pin piece, which then is the translucent red tile piece, like the light on the top of our tower, so that planes or helicopters flying over this huge skyscraper aren't going to run into it. So you got that little signal there, an emergency broadcast signal. And what I love about this antenna is actually in the back. So this is the front with all these antenna dishes, and in the back near the top we've got this hinge plate going on, and that hinge plate is where we attach Firestar's like trail of fire as she's flying through the air around the Daily Bugle here. And what you do is just take that little clear translucent bar piece, attach it to that hinge, and then you just have such a wide range of movement of how you'd want to position her flying around the Daily Bugle. I just love that attachment. Putting the roof on is actually a little bit difficult. It didn't snap on as nicely as the other floors, but what you do is all the studs are in the front. So what you do is you line up these little like decorative pillars with the side pillars here in the front. Just worry about the front because there's nothing in the back connecting. And then once you got them lined up, just push down hard on the front and the back will follow. For the extra pieces in this round, we got a 1x1 round translucent orange plate with open stud for that fire trail behind Firestar, and then the rest were associated with the antenna that we built on the top of the building. But we got that lightsaber hilt piece, a 1x1 round plate in white this time, a Technic pin, and a little bar with mechanical claw, and we didn't get this translucent red tile piece, which is kind of the top of our antenna, the Warren Plains. So Usually you get one of those as an extra piece, but we didn't in this round of bags. For the 15th round of bags, we have finished the building. So we still have the 16th round of bags where we're going to build Spider-Man, Doc Ock, and the Spider-Mobile, but the Daily Bugle itself is done, and it looks amazing. I am really happy with this set and getting very excited to finish the entire set.
If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe or check out some of our other videos. Until next time, let's keep building together.